Hey, this is Jamey from Stegmaier Games, and I am here today for a special live play of Rolling Realms because, as a birthday request from Stegmaier fan George, I'm going to play a realm that George created, and that is the Boon Lake realm. Let me start by quickly explaining the other two realms we're going to play, then I'll come back to Boon Lake. So in Charterstone, you will use a number to cross off a building and gain the resource directly below it. And when you do, you will look at the other rolled die, or either rolled dice if you're using a newly created number to cross off a building. And you're going to write down the number of the rolled die without any manipulation on the crate below. Then, typically later in the round, you will use a number to cross off all crates that share that number simply by using one die, and you'll gain 1 star for each of those crates. And so if I have a bunch of 1s and 2s in these crates, I might use a 1 to cross off a bunch of the crates, and then I might use a 2 to cross off a bunch of the crates and get stars for each of them as well. We're also going to play with Euphoria. So in Euphoria, you have these two commodity areas. You are going to use a number, cross it off in an area, and then add together the sum of all numbers that you've crossed off in that area, and then gain a benefit based on the range of that sum. So if I have a 1 and a 2 already crossed off, and I cross off a 6, 1 plus 2 plus 6 is 9, that's in this 4 to 10 range, I would gain a star. The nice little twist about Euphoria is if the rolled dice show a pair, you can use only one of those dice, but to mark down 2 numbers. So if the dice both show the number 4, I can cross off the 4 here, gain the benefit for this area, and then also cross off the 4 here and gain the benefit from that area, even just by using one of those dice. All right, let's get to Boon Lake. I have it up on my other screen so I can read it while I'm showing it to you. And you can download this. I have a link below in the description that you can download it and play along with me. So in Boon Lake, it says mark a region, one of the hexes, and gain the resource. And I've been trying to decipher this, and I'm pretty sure what that means is these hexes that look like hexes are actually the river. They are not hexes in reference to marking a region. The regions are like up here. That's a region. This is a region. So I could use a 2, for example, to cross off this region and gain a pumpkin. Then I can use the number to advance your ship along the river, gaining any benefits. And here's where I was a little confused whether or not this is referring to moving spaces equal to the number on this river, or just using any number, using the die essentially, to move 1 space. And I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna, because of the number of spaces, like this appears to be 1 space of the river. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am guessing, and we only have 9 turns in a round of Rolling Realms. I'm gonna guess that we're not actually not like if I have a 6, I'm not moving 6 spaces. Instead, I am moving 1 space per die, regardless of the number. Oh, George. Okay, George. George, let me know what's correct there. Am I moving along if I roll a 6, am I moving 6 spaces along the river, or am I moving 1 space regardless of the number? Last, it says that the rolled dice are a pair when you're passing 5 or 11. So when you go from 5 to 6, or if you go from 11 up off the top, it appears, it says gain a die of that value and use it in another realm. We'll take it for a spin. We'll see what George says. George is joining us today. So George says you go from 1 to 21. Yeah, I get that, George. Oh, in order. 1 to 21. Okay, so we're starting up here, even though there's an arrow there. Starting at 1, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. I see. Okay, so we are marking off. Okay, hexes in order. I see. So we're going down this river. And then around here, back around to 12. Okay, yeah, I see. So we're going down here, up around here, back around there. My fingers are going, and then end up down here. And so that means we must be using the number on the dice, not just a generic number. Okay, so while I've been talking, hopefully you can download this and play along. George, I'm looking forward to giving this a try. All right, first roll is a 2 and a 3. So let's get started in Boon Lake since we're here right now. So I'll mark all, I see a 2 here. Oh, George, I guess the other question is, am I marking a region or moving along the river? Or am I marking the region and moving along the river? So So it says mark a region and gain the resource, and then separate sentence it says use the number to advance your ship. My only I'm asking because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regions, and a lot more spaces to move along the river. So am I doing both with a single number? Okay, mark the region first. Okay, so let's do that. So I have a 2. So let's mark off the actually no, let's do the 2. So I'll cross off the 2 down here. It gains me a pumpkin. And then I'm using a 2, so I move 2 spaces along the river. So George, did I do that right? Okay. So what happens, George, after I've crossed off all 6 of the regions? Can I still use a number to move along the river, or am I done in this realm after using 6 dice here? That's my last question. All right, and then I have a 3. What should I do with that 3? Let's put it over here in Charterstone. Let's use the 3 so we can mark a 2. I like low numbers in the crates because low numbers are easier to create. Yeah, so George, my last question, if you heard that, was what do I do if once I run out of regions? So you're done. So I only get to use 6 numbers in this realm. Is that total? Is that correct? 6 total numbers. Okay, turn 2. A pair of 1s. This is wonderful Euphoria for Euphoria. I love pairs of 1s. What do we 2, 3. We had a 1 and 1. Let's use one of those numbers over in Euphoria, but we get to cross off both 1s in Euphoria. I get 2 coins. That's great. And then 1 is actually great in Charterstone too. So I'm going to use a 1 over here in Charterstone and mark a 1 down there. Get a pumpkin. So George says that's correct. So we're only going to use 6 numbers in Boonlake. That kind of gives you some freedom, if I'm understanding that correctly, to use the other realms. Because each round is 9 turns, but you can only really take 6 turns in Boonlake, or you can even consolidate that if you use pumpkins. That's different. That's interesting. So I'm hoping maybe to roll some high numbers and use them in Boonlake. All right. Next roll. We have a 3 and a 2. Of course, I'm rolling low numbers this round. 3 and a 2. Let's go ahead and use the 3 in Boonlake. Do I want to do that? I kind of want to use, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to use 2 pumpkins to change that 3 into a 4, so I can use it in Charterstone and mark down a number 2 down below, another 2. Then I will use the 2 in Boonlake. Oh, I can't use the 2 in Boonlake. I've already crossed off a 2 in Boonlake. So I can't use the 2 in Boonlake, so I will instead use it over here in Euphoria and gain another coin. All right, turn number 4. There's a high number, a 6 and a 3. 6 and a 3. Let's use the 6 in Boonlake. So let's cross off the 6 here and gain a pumpkin. And then I'll move 1 space. And I believe I moved from the 1 to the 2. When I did, I crossed over that coin. So I get a coin from Boonlake, which is nice. That's 1, 2, 3. I just crossed over a star, so I get a star. I don't have a pair, so that's 4, 5, 6. So I get another star and another coin. Lots of coins now built up here. But I'm going to need a lot of high numbers to get all the way through Boonlake. We'll see if I can do that. Oh, and actually, high numbers won't even matter all that much. I need the exact numbers. So not only do you need 6 numbers in Boonlake, but you need 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and so on. That is interesting. I can see why it's kind of tighter then, since you're needing those exact numbers. And then I have a 3 over here in to use somewhere, not in Charterstone. Let's put it over in Euphoria. Let's put that in that area of Euphoria and get a star. I could also, no, yeah, I think I'm done. Okay, turn 5. Another 2 and a 3. This is the third 2 and 3 pair. I think I need to use the 3 in Boonlake, although I wouldn't mind using that in Euphoria as well. But yeah, I think I need to use it in Boonlake. So 3 here, I get a pumpkin. And I move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. I get a coin. I actually have a lot of coins built up now, so I might use one of those coins. Yeah, let's use 2 coins to create a 2-value die so I can mark another 2 down here. So I have a bunch of 2s in Charterstone. Could be handy. And then I'll use the actual rolled 2, and I'll put it over here in Euphoria and gain another star. George says, and pray for some pairs. Yeah, do I need pairs at the right moment? It says, if the roll dice were a pair when passing 5 or 11, gain a die of that value and use it in another realm. So right now, I'm at 11 right now in Boon Lake. There we go. So right now is when I want to roll a pair. Let's see if I can get it. No, almost. Well, I don't know. It's their dice. Does it ever really almost roll a pair? 6 and a 4, but I do need a 4 over here in Boon Lake. So let's go ahead and use that 4. So 4. I guess I could hold off and hope for a pair, but that's could be a fool's hope there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and get another star. Now I need to use a 6 somewhere. Not great in Euphoria, also not great in Charterstone. But let's go ahead and use it in Charterstone, put the 4 down there, and get a coin. And in Euphoria, I think I'll go ahead and mark off, gain a 3, and put it right there. That gets me another star. All right, turn number 6. There's a pair, 1 turn too late, a pair of 6s. I'm excited about it, but I don't know if I can do much about it now. I'll have to manipulate them a little bit. So over in Euphoria, both of these areas add up to 6. So I could use, I could just skip stars. If I use that pair in Euphoria, I'm done getting stars there. But I could get a lot of resources out of it. I would love to use a pair over, or a 6 over Charterstone, although no, this isn't really the turn to do that because I would end up with a 6 down below. I think I need to manipulate it in Boonlake at the very least. So let's manipulate one of those 6s into a 5. Cross off this 5, get a heart, and go, where am I right now? We're here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. George, help me out here for a second. There's another coin and a star. So I just crossed this off, and I have 2 more numbers to use. Do I continue down the, do I have to cross off this hex too? Or do I does this X cover this whole section? I believe so. Use the number to advance your ship along the river. No, it doesn't really. So yeah, does this X let me carry over to 20? Or do I need to cross off another number in 19 before going down to 20? Let me know there, and I'll finish off that one. Let's go ahead and use the 6s in Euphoria. I have to do it since I'm able to do it. And I get 2 pumpkins and 2 hearts. But I'm done getting stars in Euphoria. Cut off a little short there. So George says both hexes are 1. So I think I've finished then. I think I finished Boonlake with only 5 numbers. That's cool. And I have all the stars from it. I think I missed 1 back there. But yeah, that was cool, George. That's a really neat design. I'll talk about it a little bit at the end if I have any thoughts. All right, turn 8. Still got to try to finish off Charterstone here. Did I do anything? I didn't do anything in Charterstone that round. Let's go ahead and use, or that turn. Let's use 2 coins to cross off these 3 crates and get 3 stars. All right, turn 8. A 4 and a 2. I wish I had waited one more turn then, because I could probably turn that 4 into a 5 and put a 2 down there. Although I could use the 4 there too. I need to use the 4 in Euphoria, I guess. So here's a 4 in Euphoria. I get another pumpkin, another heart, and now I need to use that 2 somehow. Let's just manipulate it into a 1 and cross off that crate and get a star. And I could copy the 5 and write another 2 down there. Actually, let's do that. Okay. So, yeah, can we do this? Copy the 4. No, I'll just stick with what I said. We'll do that. All right, final turn. Hey, Tim, thanks for joining us. He says 19 and then 22 pips. Oh, I see. Okay, so 19. So I'm one short on the 20 right now. I need to use another number. I need to use, am I one short then? 2 pips. Okay, I must have missed one there, George. Yeah, I must be just one short right now if that math is correct. So let's roll again. I need to get another pair of sixes. I was going to say I need to get a one. What did I roll? I rolled 2, 4. Okay, so I need to create a 1 to use in Boon Lake. That gives me a pumpkin, and that gets me over to 21. I'm doing that retroactively a little bit. Pair of 6. What am I going to do with a pair of 6s? Okay, I can use 2 pumpkin. I mean, I don't really want to use this 6. But I think I have to. Turn that one of those pumpkins into a 5. And end up with a 6 down here. And I think that's all I can do. Yeah. All right, so here I am. So finished with 4 stars in Charterstone, 3 in Euphoria, and all 6 in Boonlake, which is fun because that is the realm I was trying for the first time. So 13, I have a bunch of extra resources. It's an 8, 9 extra resources. So George, thank you so much for sharing Boonlake with me. Let me turn this camera up a little bit. There we go. This was really, really cool. I like the idea of moving along the river. I think the language up here can be a little clearer. Obviously, I was a little confused about moving along the numbers. I think you've taken your knowledge of how Boon Lake works, and for someone who doesn't know how Boon Lake works or doesn't know anything about Boon Lake, they're gonna have some gaps in their knowledge. So you kind of have to write the language as if someone doesn't know the game at all, which is something I try to remind myself of, and I probably mess that up in Rolling Realms at times. But I think that's pretty important. But yeah, I love the idea of using the number to move that many spaces. I would say that many spaces along the river. You might consider making these river spaces not hexes because it kind of confuses. It says mark a region, which is a hex, but these are also hexes right now, but they're not regions. So I might make them a different shape and keep these regions. And given that you have room, given that's a fan realm, you could note that I would say this. I would say mark a region a hex and gain the resource. Then use the number to advance your ship that many spaces along the river, gaining any benefits you cross over. I don't know if I'd keep the rolled dice rule in there just because it adds a lot of extra text that, I mean, it's a cool thing to happen, but it feels like a purely lucky thing. Like you have to be set up and have to get that roll pair, which you have no control over. Opposed to like Euphoria, you don't have control over the pairs here. And I guess still in Euphoria, you're kind of holding out for them, but that could really slow you down in Boonlake. But you never know. It is a cool idea to add dice to other realms. I like that concept. It's something that we're doing in a few realms that we're working on. But yeah, that's a really neat concept. And I like. Oh, and actually, when you use the number to advance your ship in ascending order, starting with 1 along the river. Yeah, so really it's just a little bit of terminology and maybe cutting the pair rule just to gain that text space back. But I really like what you did here, and I really appreciate you sharing it, and I really hope that you had a wonderful happy birthday, too. I think your birthday was Wednesday, the same as Biddy, who was here earlier, but I think he's gone now. So yeah, thank you all for playing along. Thank George for creating this Boonlake realm. And I'm happy to do this for someone else. If you have created a fan realm and you have a special occasion that you'd like me to celebrate that occasion with by playing it on one of these live plays, let me know. Send me the final version of it, and we'll play along. I'm going to put this video up on YouTube so that you can play along there. And again, I'll put the link to the Boonlake realm in the description so you can go play it. In fact, I'll use George's link. He posted the link to Board Game Geek, so you can go comment on it there and offer him some feedback if you'd like. All right, take care, George, Tim. Thanks for dropping in, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm going to play another one tomorrow. See ya. Bye.